Good morning, and you know what today is? Hump Day! Mike. I got asked the other day about the significance of mentoring and mentorship. And, really what that is role modeling, right? I mean, it's the same thing. So if you are unfamiliar with that, when you're figuring out what it is that you want to do, we know our steps in order to create any outcome that we want in our life. Whatever outcome you've ever created or wanted to create it or anybody's ever created, it's followed the same pattern. Number one is to decide what you want. Number two is to take massive action. Number three is to have sensory acuity to see whether or not your action is taking you closer to your goal or further away. And then number four is to change your approach. And then the way to speed this up is modeling, is to find somebody who's created the result that you want to create and then do what they do. Sow the same seeds and you'll reap the same rewards. So mentorship is very similar to role modeling, but it's also more like coaching. So to me, it is incredibly invaluable, or incredibly valuable. You cannot underestimate how significant it is. I was lucky early in my life to have a series of great mentors, both business and personal. And when I say business, I mean business in general, plus being a lawyer. And those things were unbelievably valuable to me in terms of just overall guidance and ideas from people who had kind of been there, people who had done exactly what I wanted to do, and just to hear their thoughts on which way, if they had it to do all over again, what would they do differently? That was the question that I would always try and ask if I had the chance. If you started this all over, what would you do the same and what would you do different? In an essence, figuring out what mistakes they made and try not to make the same mistakes. Keith Cunningham talks about if you could go back and undo your three biggest financial business mistakes, how much more money would you have in your pocket? And it's something that you only want to think about for a short time because you'll get depressed thinking about how much you threw away by doing the wrong thing. Mentorship will help you avoid all that. Find somebody who has accomplished the same things or just accomplished something in life that you're interested in a given area, and then see what type of guidance they will give you. The great thing about today is with YouTube, with these platforms, you don't even have to necessarily meet the person and you can get all of that information. But at the end of the day, the greatest resource is other people who have had similar experiences. And what I found is people get towards the end of their careers, they're very generous. They almost want to become mentors. They want to share this knowledge. They now have put so much time and effort and experience in acquiring all this information. And if they retire or pass away, it just kind of goes away and it's unutilized, and it's really a shame. So when I was younger, was used to being around people older than me and interacting with people significantly older than me. That's what I'd done my whole life. So I wasn't afraid to go up and talk to people and take them out to lunch and ask them their opinions and ask them information. And I got unbelievably great information, and I sought them out. I would go to their offices and have lunch, and I would try to do things for them if I had the chance, if there was little things that I could do that I could help them out with, from taking care of a speeding ticket to taking care of a traffic ticket for their relative, anything that I could do in order to try to help them. And then, they would want to pay me, and I didn't want money. I said, I want your time. I want knowledge. I want to go out to lunch with you, and I want to ask you questions. And I learned tons from doing this. And in the same respect, now that I'm getting a little bit older and I have the silver hair, turn around and do that for other people. When people want your time and want some information and want a little bit of effort in terms of your experience, share it. I mean, that's all part of what this is, right? So mentorship and role modeling is invaluable. It's something that you almost have to seek out and do. Otherwise, you're going to do nothing but make the same mistakes that others make, and it's going to delay your success. So speed up your success by finding people that you can go ask questions. Try to create value for them first if you can, but if you can't, it's amazing how much you can get simply by raising your hand and saying, hey, I'm trying to do this with my life, and I know you're super busy, but I also know that you're super successful, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the world right now and where you would go and what you would do and how you would invest or how you would approach business or how you would approach all of this, and just get your ideas. And I'm telling you, I think most people are more than willing to give you a little bit of time and to share that information, especially if you're really genuine. So find yourself a mentor. I had many throughout my life, and I still have them, and I still use them. And be a mentor. When somebody younger asks for a little bit of time, give it to them. There's no problem with 10, 15, 20 minutes to try to help somebody else out, because you know what? Chances are you're going to learn something when you're talking to them. You're going to remember something that you forgot, that you go, you know what? That is a good piece of information and I should store it away. We all need each other. And the more that we use other people for information, the more that we'll avoid mistakes. And the more you can avoid mistakes, the quicker you're going to get to your outcomes, the quicker you're going to get to your goals, the quicker you're going to have success in all areas of life, and the more it's going to accelerate you to want to do the same thing. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.